I've had a lot of people commenting to a certain video about the word inalienable, saying that it should be unalienable. Now, unalienable only appears in the Declaration of Independence, written up by, well, it was actually written, those words were written in by John Adams. The original draft by Jefferson was handwritten and it had inalienable in. So why was John Adams so intent on having it as unalienable when in true Latin inalienable seems more correct? Especially when something that's undoable, undo, redo, undo, redo. Indoable seems more permanent. At the end of the day, unalienable appears only in the Declaration of Independence, and I'm not sure if it's in every printed version. I'm not sure if it was altered over the years. Nevertheless, I'm not American and I don't know how the Constitution would affect me. Further than that, I don't believe in government. Now a lot of people have a bit of a problem with this concept of how can we run a society without governance. Everything that I think about, everything that I calculate, everything that I base my ideas on now, since quite a few years, includes having no government. Excludes governments, really. I've taken into consideration that many people maybe want governing, and so there could be some body of governance elected for those who choose that. But the idea of being born onto a piece of land, given a nationality, and then forced by a higher organisation called government, being forced by physical force and coercion and restriction and regulation to do the will of the greater good. Now, greater good it may be, but every single person I've ever asked has problems with government, has problems with certain restrictions, regulations, the way things are done in society. People think we need government. And so all of the intent and actions go towards trying to change the current government to a better one. Who do we vote next? Blue, green, red, orange, black, brown? What colour do you want? What flag do you want to stand under? Because at the moment where you stand under a flag, you're standing on a ship. A citizenship. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with citizenship as long as the citizens can maybe sometimes standism and not just keep sitting. Excuse the pun. But I don't believe in government, and there's no reason why we need government. You may say, oh, we need police. There's no reason why a private company couldn't offer security services. They would still be held accountable, but they wouldn't be living under this illusion that they'd been granted some kind of extra authority, supreme rights of some form. The right to impose force on anybody, to just pull them out of the car if they disobey, to treat people like children and to act themselves like nannies of the state, aggressors. I know there's a lot of good police. I know there's a lot of good civil servants. But one bad apple in a barrel can't be just left in the barrel. And if we see that the bad apples are just being thrown back into the barrel and the apples are getting more and more sour, the government seems to be non-accountable. Who is the government? When you phone a babysitter, when you get somebody round to babysit, You like to know who they are, what they're like. Why do we trust the government? Why do we trust a government when we cannot see those people? Then rather have a king who we can overthrow, who we can make accountable for his words, his changes in the law. But as we see, no constitution or treaty holds up to the corruption of governments and those unaccountable people in government who seem to make it their daily job of extorting money out of the people. And usually out of those who are not so clever when it comes to money and paperwork and writing and spelling and spells. The government has no ears. The government does not listen to us. The legal system that the government operates is against our favour as human beings. When considered robots, then everything should be perfectly okay for us human beings. But we're not robots. We have emotions, we have feelings, we're unique, individual and divine. And we're here to make small mistakes, not hurt each other. But look at what the government do. Make massive mistakes and legitimise force. Now, me not trusting a government isn't based on my anger towards government. It's based on a pure contemplation. It's a big subject. And I can understand that most people would instantly jump to the conclusion that it would be impossible to run a society or a nation without government. But really, a nation and a society in the hands of government is National Socialism. And then when we extend government beyond the realms of nationality into international realms, across the globe, what kind of government is that? Who then are we trusting with our children, with our elderly, with our needy? Who are we trusting? Because those people dwell behind some kind of corporate veil, behind some kind of secret identity. What do politicians really do other than talk to each other in secret? And if I won't call that a conspiracy, then I don't know what is. Government officials don't lay roads. Government officials don't heal people. Government officials don't grow food. Government officials don't teach people. Government officials administer. Paper workers, representatives, their word should be the highest, but their words are worth nothing to me. And so, I can't blame the government. I can only really say to people, to you people, if you're looking for another government, if you're looking to change government, the whole thing just perpetuates. That position of power may move to a different colour, a different location, but the same mentality, the same archetype of corrupt person, that corrupt person will always find that highest position. Unless you have the hope and trust and faith that a good person will stand at that top position and hold his position and hold up to all that corruptness that's coming his way, because that position is hunted. That position of power is being hunted down by every power-hungry person. So that when we create that position of power, when we create a position where the person standing on there has ultimate invisibility, then we've created ourselves a massive enemy, invisible enemy, who has control over every facet of our lives. If you think about it long and hard enough, it could take 20 years. You will only come to the same conclusion, that to create such a position of power that adopts the rule of force, even, to just capture people, kidnap people, throw them in prison, without a trial, without informing friends or family. When a position of power can be granted that power by you, by me, by anybody, do we really want that power? Do we really want any government?